to my world. Won't you come on in?
Hej, mit navn det er Stig Ulrichsen, og welcome to my world. I dag har jeg fået besøg af en gæst fra England. Helt præcis kommer han fra Manchester. Hans navn er Barry Whitwam, og han er trommeslager i et legendarisk band, der har eksisteret i nogle 50 år efter hånden. Da de var i deres storhedstid, ja, der var der faktisk kun 2 bands, som de unge piger overalt i hele verden lyttede til. Det ene band, det var The Beatles, og det andet band var Herman and His Hermits. Welcome, Barry.
Nice to be here with you, Stig.
It's great to see you again, and you are touring Denmark at the moment. And while you are touring Denmark, you stay in your second hometown almost.
That's right, in Randers. We love the place.
You love to be here?
It's a great city.
Yeah?
Yep. And restaurants are nice. Very, very nice city. It's not a city, it's a town, isn't it? Or is it? It's a city.
It's a city.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah. It's the 6th biggest city in Denmark,
Wow.
actually. Yeah.
So much, everybody. Good evening. Everybody okay? And so are we. But as Jeff said, 50 years playing the drums with Herman and His Hermits, right from the beginning, non-stop. Had a fantastic time. And over those many years, we sold over 75 million records. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Now, a lot of people ask us, what's the most exciting thing that's ever happened over the many years? Well, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting thing that's ever happened, apart from being here tonight, was meeting Elvis Presley, 1965. Woo. Let's try that again. Elvis Presley, 1965. That's more like it. Now, what happened? He was filming Paradise Hawaiian Style in Hawaii, and we just finished a tour of America, which ended in Hawaii. Now, we're going home the next day. But the night before, we got a telephone call from Colonel Tom Parker. Now, that was Elvis Presley's manager. And he said, Elvis Presley would like to meet Herman and His Hermits tomorrow on his film set. But you've got to remember 1965, the average age of the band was just 18. And we said, we're going home tomorrow. Hey, we changed our air tickets, and we had a fabulous time with Elvis on his film set. But when we got to the film set, Elvis Presley wasn't there. The director said he's gone out on his motorbike with the rest of his friends, and they've gone out. They'll be back in about 10 minutes. So we were talking with the director, and then we started to hear this roar of motorbikes. We looked down the beach. 15 Harley Davidsons were coming up the beach in a V shape with Elvis Presley in the middle. And they came roaring into the set. Elvis Presley got off his bike, and there wasn't a hair out of place on his head. Bit like mine. And we had a fabulous 2 hours with Elvis.
Welcome to my world.
But what did Mickie Most see in Herman and His Hermits?
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's the Beatles, they came out the year before you, and I'm sure they signed a lot of bands in that time to have more English bands coming out in the world. But can you tell a little bit?
Yeah. Well, Mickie Most remarked that Peter Noone reminded him of J.F. Kennedy, one of the Kennedy clan. He looked sort of that way. He said he's got a very popular face. And so when we got together with Peter and Carl Green, Keith Otwood, and after about a month, Harvey Lisberg invited Mickie Most to come and see us in a club in Bolton in Lancashire. So Harvey sent him an airline ticket. Mickie Most flew up, saw the band playing in this great, it was like a cellar club. It was really good, the sound was great. And he liked the band, liked the new sound. And he left a tape of I'm Into Something Good by Earl Jean. And he said, learn that and come down in a week's time to London. So we did. I'd never been to London before, and Lek hadn't been to London. It was very exciting. We travelled overnight, slept on top of the gear in the van, so we weren't really fresh when we got there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Started in Manchester Square, EMI Studios. Recorded I'm Into Something Good on the B-side. And Mickie said, I'm going on holidays for 3 weeks, so I'll come back and we'll talk again. When he got home, he played this song to I'm Into Something Good, our record, to his wife. He says, what do you think of that? he said that. She said that's a hit all day long. That's a hit. He says I don't like it. I don't think I'm going to release it. She said that's a hit. Mickie, that is a hit. So anyway, he took her advice and went to number one. Fortunately, so it really never happened. Nearly, if it hadn't been for his wife.
Yeah, there's a woman behind everything. So he sent it and released that single in the UK, or?
In the UK first, it got to number one in September the 7th, 1964.
That's well done, because that was also at a time where Beatles was taking all the places on the charts.
That's right, yeah. Well, Mickie explained to us, you've got to be very careful when you release the song. You don't want to release it the same day as the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. You have to get your timing perfect. And it went right up the charts. Number one, it stayed there for 3 weeks. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And everything changed then. You know, money started coming in a bit more. But we're still, because we were booked up that far ahead, we were still playing shows after we had two hit records for £25 a night, and we should have been like, you know, £500, 20. And some of the clubs said, "Yeah, you don't need the money anymore. They didn't pay us anyway."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the two of us and nobody else. Inside, there's nobody else, and I'm feeling good, just holding you tight. So listen very carefully, closer now, and you will see what I mean. It isn't a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear, I love you forever and ever. There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight, all over the world. People just like us are falling in love. La 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 la. So listen very carefully, closer now, and you will see what I mean. It isn't a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear, I love you forever and ever. There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight, all over the world. People just like us are falling in love. Welcome to my world.
But this name, Herman and Hermits, I have seen some interviews with Peter Noone where they actually called him Herman.
Yeah.
In the beginning, until they started saying that, oh, he's not Herman, he's actually Peter Noone. But how come the name Herman and the Hermits to begin with, and later on Herman and Hermits? Where did he find that name?
I don't know how we found Herman and the Hermits, but there was a group in when we wanted to suggested they change the name so the fans would know that something's different. There used to be a group called Farron's Flamingos. That sounded very modern to myself and Derek. That's why we suggested it to them. You know, modernise the name. There was like Freddie and the Dreamers. Everything was so and so and so and so, so and so and so and so. Modernise it, and they did. Well, they had to, because we weren't going to join them if they were going to stick with Herman and the Hermits.
After you became number one in UK, I guess the single also came out in other countries, so how did it go?
It did, yeah. It was released in America. It got to number 13 there, and Australia, around the world, it charted in most countries. And we thought, the management said, we'll have to conquer America now. So
But actually, I have to say something in here. The fact is just that you actually was a little bit afraid at that time that you may become a one-hit wonder because your second single
that's
didn't
true, yes,
succeed
yeah.
at all.
The second one was another Carole King song called Show Me Girl, and Mickie Most didn't like it. So, and the management said, "Oh, that's a hit." So it really showed the management that he was the record producer. He had the talent to pick hit records and how to record them. But on this particular time, he said to them, "All right, if you think it's a hit, we'll record it." And I don't think Mickie did a good job on it, but it was released, and I think it went to number 19 in the charts. So the press had a field day with us, you know, the one-hit wonders from Manchester, flash in the pan. You'll never see those lads again from Manchester. It's all
How
finished.
did you all feel about that?
Oh, it's terrible.
You were depressed or?
Yeah, because all the press had a real go at us because we were so young, and I don't think they liked the fact that somebody in Manchester has been in the charts for three weeks at number one. So Mickie said, "Right, we'll go back in the studio and leave it with me." So we went in the studio and recorded Silhouettes, and that was released. That got to number 2 in the charts, and that was it. We're back on up there again.
Back on track.
And the press never said another word about us. Nothing. No more mention of flash in the pan. You know, one-hit wonders.
And your management got the point that they should focus on being managing and making concerts
That's
and
right.
not record producers.
Let Mickie Most make the records and we'll make the concerts, yeah.
Another thing is with all the records you did, because you stayed on the charts for actually until 1970 or something like that, you were on the top of the charts every time you send out something new. Isn't that correctly remembered from my point of view?
It was, well, let's go start the finish. The last song we recorded was Lady Barbara, and it was the name on the record was Peter Noone with Herman's Hermits. Peter already decided that he wanted to not be Herman anymore. He wanted to be Peter Noone with Herman's Hermits. But as you said before, we used to, every 3 months we'd put a record out. Especially in America, we were never out of the charts. Albums were coming out. In fact, 1965 to 66, Herman's Hermits sold more records than anybody else in the world. It's hard to believe.
It's a lot of records.
More than the Beatles, more than everybody.
But actually until 1970, I think you sold more than 50 million records.
In a short space of time, yeah. From 64 to 71, it was almost nearly 70 million, or 75 million up to date. We think it must be more now.
Be beside you tonight, every night. How can I live without you? When the wind blows gently on the blue lagoon, I'll hide you, sunshine girl, my sunshine girl. Sunshine girl, now I must go away, 'cause this was only a summer holiday, and one day I'll be returning, you'll see, across the blue sea, my sunshine girl. Tonight, every night, I'm gonna be beside you. Tonight, every night, I'm gonna dream about you. When I'm home and everyone will hear about my little sunshine girl, my sunshine girl. Everybody whistling. Sounds good. Sunshine girl, now I must go away, 'cause this was only a summer holiday, and one day I'll be returning, you'll see, across the blue sea, my sunshine girl. Tonight, every night, I'm gonna be beside you. Tonight, every night, I'm gonna dream about you. When I'm home and everyone will hear about my little sunshine girl, my sunshine girl. Sunshine girl, I'm leaving soon. I'll be back.
Welcome to my world.
How was it suddenly to receive this fame, and also that money was coming in like you didn't have the time to spend it, you know?
It's absolutely brilliant. We're so lucky, but we worked hard. The first 2 years, I think we only had a week off. And even if you're ill, you still had to go on the road and promote and play. And as soon as I got, after about a year, went to the accountant and said, well, I need some money, I want to buy a house, a new house for my mum and dad. We lived in a semi-detached, about half a mile away, a five bedroom, double bedroom house, and made an offer. It was only £6,000. My father sold his house for 3, and I borrowed on my future earnings £3,000. And basically what you did in the early days for 60s stars, you buy your mum and dad a house and you start working on your cars. So I went through all the Jaguars, Bentleys, Aston Martins. As soon as the ashtrays...
Only English cars?
Eventually, I think I got a Mustang in 1967. Brought that back from America. That was a fast car. But as soon as the ashtrays were filled, I used to sell them almost like that. It was that quick. I enjoyed my cars, and the house was good as well.
And you kept on producing hit records, and actually in the beginning it was only Peter Noone living in London, and you guys still lived in Manchester. Did you live in Manchester all your life?
Yeah, still there, still in Manchester. Yeah, Peter went down to London, and Carl Green, I think in 1969, he went down to London. I stayed in Manchester. When you're travelling the world all the time, it's nice to come back, see all the old faces in your neighbourhood. Local pub, go in there. Amazing.
Yeah. How was it to travel around the world? You had hardly been out of Manchester as a young lad. How was it just to travel the world all the time? Young boys alone, having everything.
Yeah.
Could you control yourself?
It was fantastic. The places we went to, Japan, the Philippines, America all the time. We had these old cine cameras, we call them cine cameras, with little rolls of film you put in, and after about 2 minutes you had to put a towel over your head and open the camera up and change the wheel, change the films over. So primitive, and lenses at the front, 3 lenses, you turn the lens around. There's no zoom. And it was great. Places we went to, always doing concerts, always being chased by the girls. It was like Elvis, as soon as we finished the concert, security, we jump in a limousine and fly out. I missed the the limo. I could have sworn he said, at the end of the show, after Henry VIII, you run to the right, get in a car. I went the other way. I go, look, where's the car? I went to the other side, there's no car. So then all the girls were trying to get backstage to see me, chased me out of the building. I'm running down the street and there's a car. I was in the middle of the road. I stopped the car. I said, quick, take me out of town somewhere. He said, why? He said, I'm Barry Whitwam, the drummer with Herman and His Hermits. I'm going to get mobbed here or probably killed. He said, get in the back seat. So I did. And he threw a blanket over me. And after about 5 minutes driving, he said that we're quite a bit away from the theatre now. Where's your hotel? I said, I don't know. So what's it called? I don't know. I just remember what it looks like, because when we come from the airport, we just rushed into the hotel, had a quick shower, and got back in the limo and went to the show. I had no clue where I was. So we were driving around town for 2 hours. I'm looking, now that's not the hotel. I'll drive to another hotel, okay. That's not it. And eventually we found it was the Holiday Inn. And I got in the Holiday Inn, the little bar. I got told off. Where have you been? I said, I've been trying to find a hotel. Yeah. So we tightened up a bit of security after that one.
In the days I have seen on interviews that there's being joked about that you were the hairdresser for Herman and His Hermits also, as long as the drummer. Is that true that you also fixed the other guys' hair when you were around?
No, it wasn't true.
Well, you have a very fine-looking group. I'd like to know who's your hairdresser. Do you all have the same one?
Yeah, we do. We go to Lou Starr's and Barry Whitwam's.
What does he do your hair? Do you do your own hair?
Yeah, he used to be a ladies' hairdresser, so that's how he's good at cutting our hair.
Great. And you're only 18 and you've been a hairdresser?
Yes, I was trained for about 2 years. Ladies' hair, like me.
I'd do my own. You went down the road for 6 weeks, it'd grow long. I just comb it all forward and cut round. I didn't used to do the hair. No, I don't know where that came from. But girls used to try and cut our hair with scissors in America. They used to run up, try and grab your hair and cut the scissors. Carl Green got a pair of scissors stuck in his head once, cut his ear. But The girls used to try and cut our hair, but I didn't.
Were there a lot of girls on the hotel rooms on the tours?
Yeah, I don't know how they managed it, but when you check into a hotel, you'd open the door and there'd be a girl already inside waiting for you. So how did you get here? Oh, you know somebody. I said, you can't stay here. You know, most of the girls in America were underage, so if you messed around, you'd be in jail for a long time. Because anyway, we was young anyway when we first hit America and England. Only 18.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you told me a little joke about that. You like these practical jokes, and you made a joke with one of the crew members or your tour manager, or whoever it was, where you joked with bringing his girlfriend into the room. Can you tell that story for us?
That was the famous Flint, Michigan. I had an adjoining room to one of the roadies. It was 6'6" American roadie, and he was like Horse Cartwright, you know, massive, big rugby player. And the adjoining door was open, and he had his girlfriend there. So I said for a laugh, "Come in the next room with me, just for a laugh, and we'll shut the door, and you start screaming." So he did that. He started screaming. He banged on the door, and he was calling me, "Just Whitwam, Whitwam, open the door." I said, "Get lost. Open the door, I'll kick it in." I said, "Get lost." And he kicked the door, and the door came in with the bricks, came with it, all on the floor. And no! So I spent a couple of hours putting the bricks back in and put the door back as if they wouldn't notice. All the wallpaper's torn. That was on the bill for when we checked out in the morning, building another wall.
You earned a lot of money, but you also spent a lot of money on funny things.
Yeah, wasted a lot on funny things. I like practical jokes. It's good, but as long as it don't cost any money. But that wasn't a joke. That was malicious. He lost his temper. It's one he didn't kill me.
Well, where did you hide when he came in?
Just a joke. She confirmed. He's only joking. Okay, Whitwam.
You pay for the door. That's a funny thing. How was it? You talked a little bit about this with the other bands, that they sometimes, even if they were warm-up acts for you guys, they were older than you, and they didn't have the respect for you also.
No,
because you also had your own music style compared to what many other English bands tried to do at that time. Yours were more nice, rounded.
Yeah. Well, that was a Mickie Most idea. He says, "Yeah, you've had some success with I'm into some good silhouettes." He said, "The music business is like a dartboard. There's 20 sort of sections on it, and you don't want to go in anybody else's section. They're doing it. You've got to say like number one near the top. That's your section. Stay there, and you should be okay. Don't go do anybody else's stuff." And that's what we did. Played nice music, nice songs, and the image was the same. Didn't look like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Animals, the Who. We had our own little. We were the kids next door, and it worked.
You toured America around the same time like the Beatles had their tours. Did you ever meet up with some of the guys in the Beatles?
No, we never. We did 2 shows with them in London. It was called the Musical Express Awards, and we won an award for being the up-and-coming band. One year, that was '64. Next year we're on it for the. I don't know what award we got then. We met the Beatles briefly. We met the Rolling Stones in 1965 in America. Herman and His Hermits were on tour, and the Rolling Stones were on tour. And for some reason, I don't know who did it, but they booked us in the same venue on one night in Philadelphia.
The Strays, 2 different audiences.
2 different audiences. And the management of the Stones and Herman and His Hermits were having a big argument who'd close the bill. So they checked the tickets, and we'd sold 10,000 tickets. Herman and His Hermits, the Rolling Stones had sold 5. So it was obvious Herman and His Hermits would close the bill. They were arguing away. Then the chief of police said, "If you don't sort this out soon, we're going to arrest you all because there's a curfew on this building, and then there'll be a riot, and we'll all arrest you for causing a riot." So it decided quickly that Herman and His Hermits would go on first, then there'd be a half-an-hour break to let all our fans leave the building, then the Stones could go on. That was agreed.
Couldn't the fans have stayed also if they wanted?
They didn't want to.
No, but they could if they wanted.
They could have done, yeah. 10,000 When we finished, 10,000 girls left the building. But after our second number, we saw in the wings Mick Jagger, Charlie Watts, and the rest of them all shouting abuse at us. Really swearing, get off, rubbish, get off the stage. Like them. The victory sign to them. Yeah, they didn't like us. And we didn't like them. We met them next night, 2 nights later, in a party in New York. They were glaring at each other, we were enemies. Because they were fighting for second place. And I think we had second place, the Beatles, Herman and His Hermits, and the Rolling Stones. And so there was enemies for a few years.
That's funny.
No milk today, my love has gone away. The bottle stands for love, a symbol of the door. No milk today, it seems a common sight. People passing by don't know the reason why. How could they know just what this message means? The end of my hopes, the end of all my dreams. How could they know a palace there had been behind the door where my love reigned as queen? No milk today, it wasn't always so. The company was gay, we turned out into all that's left is a place dark and lonely, a terrace house in a mean street back of town. Becomes your shrine when I think of you only, just 2 up, 2 down. No milk today, it wasn't always so. The company was gay, we turned out into day. As the music played, the faster did we dance. We felt it both at once, the start of our romance. How could they know just what this message means? The end of my hopes, the end of all my dreams. How could they know a palace there had been behind the door where my love reigned as queen? No milk today, it wasn't always so. The company was gay, we turned out into day. All that's left is a place dark and lonely, a terrace house in a mean street back of town. Becomes your shrine when I think of you only, just 2 up, 2 down. No milk today, my love has gone away. The bottle stands for love, a symbol of the dawn. No milk today, it seems a common sight. People passing by don't know the reason why. How could they know just what this message means? The end of my hopes, the end of all my dreams. How could they know a palace there had been behind the door where my love reigned as queen? No milk today, it wasn't always so. The company was gay, we turned out into day. All that's left is a place dark and lonely, a terrace house in a mean street back of town. Becomes your shrine when I think of you only, just 2 up, 2 down. Just 2 up, 2 down.
Thank you very much for giving yourself time to come into our little studio here and talk about your life with Herman and His Hermits.
It's been my pleasure, really has.
Thank you. Og dermed er jeg nået frem til vejs ende af Welcome to my world i denne her uge. Jeg håber at se jer alle sammen igen i næste uge. Tak fordi I kiggede med.
Welcome to my world.